Last night, I was sitting just a few feet from here on a chair, looking up at the night sky at a million stars. And I saw 3 shooting stars, meteors actually, flying across the sky, big bright light, and absolutely gorgeous. And it did something to me. It just made me think, Daniel, life is so beautiful. Life is such a big, huge mystery. And something that I was reminded of even as a child, and something that actually in a strange way, but maybe I'll try to explore here, gave me such comfort. A reminder that life, the world, the universe is so much bigger than me, than my little confusions and my little problems and my messy little life and my painful history and my lovely history. And that I've been thinking about that for decades. I'm almost 50 now. What's it going to be like turning 50, getting older? One of my teeth hurts. It's like, what's happening to me? Is that tooth going to have to come out? And noticing my knees hurt more and my feet hurt. And I have to wear bigger shoes because my feet are more cramped. And oh, I'm sore and I can't run like I used to. And it's like these little problems. And yet, the moon is still the same moon. And the stars are still there. And the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper were there. And I saw Orion's belt. And I looked up and it's just thinking, wow, the world is still beautiful. And it's going to be here long after I'm gone. Probably long, long, long after all of humanity is gone. And someday humanity is going to go extinct. And in a way, that could be a cop-out for me. Who cares what we do? Who cares what I do? I can do anything. I can harm others. I can harm myself. I can live or die. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if humanity destroys the planet. It doesn't matter if we do evil things to each other. War doesn't matter. Capitalism and all its destructions doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't count because the world's going to be here forever. It's bigger than us. Well, I don't think that way. In a strange way, I take the opposite perspective. We're here for a limited time. We all live for limited lives. We live and then we die. I don't know if I believe in an afterlife. That's not my thing. I wasn't raised that way. I don't really see it. What I think is when we die, this wonderful opportunity we have to live and be useful and help others and grow and heal and manifest ourselves, to self-actualize, to be useful, to be role models, it all goes away once we're gone. And what we share with the world after we're gone are the positive messages we've put out, the people we've influenced in a positive way, the gifts we've given to others, the generosity we've given. And I don't just mean money, and probably money's the least of it. The love we've given to people, the nurturance we've given to people, the caring we've given, the emotional health that we've shared. And what about humanity? Okay, humanity's going to go extinct, so who cares what we do? Well, I think the opposite. I think, why not do the best that we can? Why not give each other the most pleasure and meaning in our life possible? Why not live in harmony with this beautiful planet, with this beautiful forest, with the trees, with the animals, with the birds, with the insects, with the frogs? There's a little pond right over here with frogs jumping around in it. Why not be the best creatures that we can possibly be? Why not give it our all to nurture our consciousness? Why not be the best parents we can be? Not just to children if we create children, but parents to ourselves, to the wounded little children in ourselves. Why not try to heal our traumas? Why not try to manifest and be the best we can be? Why not grieve? Why not live outside of our comfort zones? I think so many people live their lives padded for comfort. There's a highway of life. They get off at the rest areas. They stop growing. They build houses out of steel and concrete. They block themselves in from feeling their feelings, feeling their pain, from taking risks. People become so terrified of taking risks. Oh, I don't want to get hurt. Oh, I don't want to get sick. Oh, I don't want to die. You're gonna die anyways. Why not try? That's what I figure. Why not try to be the best we can possibly be? Why not grow? Why not learn? One thing I love about life, about the world, I can't say I love it so much during this pandemic when so much is shut down, but before the pandemic, and maybe it'll be better afterwards, who knows, though maybe this is the beginning of a whole new crazy ugly world, but One thing I loved before it is the ability to travel around the planet, to learn new languages, to learn from other people, learn from other cultures. I'm not even a religious guy, but to learn from other religions. I've learned actually something good, something new from every single religion I've ever seen and come in contact with. I've lived with so many people of different religions and learned, and I'm just using that as an example of something that I'm not even extremely interested in. But what about other languages? Other languages, there's so many interesting things in the way the syntax is built, the vocabulary, so many fascinating things. You can see why language evolves, because language is always developing new ways to express ideas. I was thinking, I was recently in Kyrgyzstan, or as they say there, Kyrgyzstan, as we say here, Kyrgyzstan, in Central Asia, living with Russians, living with Kyrgyz people. I remember I was in a national park outside of the capital of Bishkek, Ala-Archa National Park, and I was hiking up into the hills and I saw Kyrgyz people coming down and they were eating something that looked like celery. And I was like, oh, I guess they brought celery along. But then when I got closer, I was like, it looks a little different. And I asked, what is it? Что это? What is this thing? And they're like telling me, and I didn't know the word they had for it, but they let me try some and I took a bite. It was rhubarb, wild rhubarb. Rhubarb originally comes from Central Asia, sometimes even in the more mountainous region, higher elevations. It looked a little different. It was green. But they showed me where to pick it. Well, I picked a whole bunch of wild rhubarb. I love rhubarb. I was eating it. It was tasty. Yummy. It was like learning that. And then the funny thing is I met some Kyrgyz people who spoke a little bit of English and they said, we call it Kyrgyz banana. Just one example. Drinking water out of streams all over Kyrgyzstan, drinking all over the world, but not where I grew up anymore. I grew up on one of the Finger Lakes, spent a lot of time growing up in the Finger Lakes. I drank that water when I was a kid in the 70s, even into the early 80s. And then at some point they said, don't drink the water anymore. It's toxic. It'll make you sick. Full of nasty stuff. So we all stopped drinking the water. Even filtering it wasn't good anymore. And I think, what's happening with our world? And then there's still places up in the mountains. Even in India, I was drinking out of streams in northern India in the Himalayas. Not expensive to get there, not expensive at all, but just taking a risk, being willing to get out of my comfort zone, travel cheaply, uncomfortable, scary sometimes, not sure what's going to happen. When I hitchhike, where will I sleep tonight? I've experienced that even this year. It's like, oh, what's going to happen? Have faith in humanity. That's something that I've learned. When I look up at the stars, by the way, there is sun right in my face. It's shifted since I started filming, and it's so bright. I think I have to get low, otherwise it burns my eyes. But when I looked up at the stars, each one of them being their own sun, just like the sun that's in my face right now, when I looked up at the stars and they twinkle, it's just a reminder, I'm alive, I'm here, the world is alive. This is my chance to grow, this is my chance to heal, and to be honest. And I will be honest here, it is terrifying to make these videos. So often after I make these videos, I'm anxious. Bubbles, I've talked about this before, what I said, little bits and pieces. Why did you say that about your mother, that she's sick and a pervert and did crazy things? Why do you talk about your father being so awful and immature? It bubbles up at night, it bubbles up in my dreams. I feel guilty, I feel strange, I have to work through it. But even that helps me grow. To come here and be honest, it helps me grow, it helps me think. And I think most importantly, when all is said and done, what I get reminded of when I look up at the stars, when there's sun in my face, when I hear the wind in the trees like right now, and the crickets and the cicadas, the occasional bird, sometimes a flock of geese flying overhead, I think the best thing that I can do is be like a shooting star in the sky and be an example. To burn brightly, to use my voice like the birds, like the crickets, like the wind, like the trees, to use my voice to share what I have learned, maybe to inspire some people, or at least to give people some new idea. Maybe the idea that they can live their lives differently. Maybe that there is more hope than they realized. Maybe they can grow and heal. Maybe they can change in ways they never thought that they could, because for a long time, I was stuck. I was hopeless. I remember being a little boy looking up at the stars in the night sky and thinking, thank God the world is bigger than my family system. And you know what? I was right.